And there we go. It is time for a little tomato talk. There we go. That comment was mine. I wrote down, here we go, up on the Facebook page. Wow. What an unbelievable weekend. Gave a little bit of the voice to this weekend, too. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Hey, the racing out at Racetrack Knott Street was great. The difference of everything was just really phenomenal. But I want to start off with something today that didn't happen at the racetrack. No, and it wasn't even that event that took place before. There's a video I ran across just a short while ago, and I want to show that to you. And the reason I want to show that to you is because this kid's excitement of being in this guy's car is unbelievable. Well, actually, it's not unbelievable. It was something that took place all by us, throughout the time. There was one story after another, and Ev will go into a couple of those things. But hey, big thank you to David Kometsi, who came out with me over the weekend. We spoke to a couple of people about some of their stories that go along the way. But well, let's just watch this video first, and then we'll start explaining. Yeah, you like that one, Errol? Wait, I'll get the hat on too. You're gonna love this video. Stay tuned. Here we go. Ready? Let's share screen. Share screen. And we're going to go to Chrome tab. Watch. Go.
Look at him. He's ready. He is ready. Look at him. You go kick it. Get up in there.
Rick, don't step right here. Throw your leg up and get right on the floor.
Don't hit your head coming up now.
No, don't step on the green.
No, step on this.
There you go. There you go. Get in it. Don't hit your head. Look at it. Don't hit your head. Don't hit your head. Sit down in the chair.
Sit down. Sit down. There you go.
I got hover up, put the steering wheel on for you.
I'm gonna put the steering wheel
Look
on
out.
for you.
So that's the headset.
That's for the radio.
That's what I put on so I can hear them talk to me.
Yeah, we talk to Justin when he's on the track. I got a microphone. I have a headset on and I talk to Justin.
Look at you. So that is a line lock. That's what I use to do a burnout. And then touch that red button over there. Touch that red button. Yup, that is a trans brake.
Push it.
All right, now push it and hold it.
Push it and
Hold
hold
it.
it. Push it and hold it.
Hold it in. You see the button that come on? See the button on the dash?
Right here.
There you go.
Right here. Look right here.
That's you're engaging the trans brake on the transmission.
Right here on the transmission. That's the transmission of the car. That's the
shifter.
shifter. That's the steering wheel. Yeah, that's how you steer the car, yep.
Do you have any posters back inside or anything?
We'll give it something. Yeah.
I just need his day because he's been trying
That's the seatbelt.
That's where he's gonna buckle.
Yeah, that's where you buckle up at.
Put your seatbelt on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you start it. Right up here, you push to start it. That's the seat.
The buckles are behind it. The buckles are out behind it.
Right up here.
There you go. You gotta put the belts on. Sit back in the seat. We'll put the belts on. Sit back in the seat. We'll put the belts on you.
All right, I'm gonna show you.
You gotta sit all the way back now.
Back. All right, this is what happens. All right. I get sit back. Go ahead.
Sit back right there.
All right, I put Justin in the car, and then I buckle that one in. Then I buckle this one in. All right. Then now look. This
All right,
one,
he's coming over the top.
this one comes down over here and go along your shoulder. I put that one in there. Okay, now we got one more. Here he comes. There you go. There you go.
Hell
Now
yeah.
you got seatbelts on. You ready to go down the racetrack?
Now make some vroom vroom noises.
Make some vroom noises. Yeah, you like that?
You're welcome.
Yeah? Huh? Where's what? To start it?
Oh, you want to start it? You want to start it? He said no. You want out? Let's go. Let's get you out. Hey, we're gonna take you over there. We're gonna get you some merch, okay? Big, he's so small, he can just come out of it. I can't do that. Hold up 1 minute. Let him get the steering wheel off. We're going to go over there and get you some merch, okay? Don't hit your head coming up.
Hey, kudos to that team over there, right? You know, Errol, the only question I got to you is like, those other guys over there, they were explaining it, I think. The excitement level on them, too, is just absolutely huge. But, man, that really is it. You know, whenever I go out, you know, and talk to some of these folks about the car, and I went over to the tech area to kind of learn a little bit more what's going on about the safety features in there. It's just so excited about talking about it. It's genuine, you know, it's interest on my side, but it's like they genuinely want to tell everybody, you know, what's going on and what they've done to the trucks. So it was the truck, I forget what kind it was the diesel one. You know, he's got a longer drive shaft on the car, and he explained how he's got two sections holding it together and the different how it's encapsulated, and you know the safety features that went along with that one. I was like, man, that's something else, you know, because now watching these things, I understand a little bit more about the torque that's involved. And if you got a longer drive shaft in there, it just kind of adds to the whole thing. Absolutely incredible. It was a great day on Saturday. Weather was perfect. That was good. Fans were terrific. Cars were great. Cars and tracks, cars. Age difference. Holy schmoly. I got to tell you, the age difference of the spectators, you would imagine it goes from everywhere from, you know, infants. There were so many kids, strollers all around, to the more mature crowd. Okay, that's an assumption, right? I mean, that's fine, right? You go someplace, you know, you always expect that. What about from the driver's standpoint? This one was probably even more extreme than any other day, I think. Although one of the days I came down there last year, I know I spoke to some guy. He told me it was 80. It was in mid 80s, 83, 86, whatever it was, in mid 80s. And then the junior dragsters were down there, 6 years old. So this one, same kind of thing, except we had the junior dragsters. Now, one of them was down there today and then or over the weekend. And then you also had a senior dragster. That's I got some photos over here. A senior drag. This was a full blown dragster with mufflers. Full blown dragster that was down there. And I got to tell you, what an unbelievable sight there was. I blew my my announcing. I threw that whole thing off with me. I was like, man, I got to get a photo of this thing. It's like, you know, whatever. We're all a bunch of kids at heart when it comes to this thing. But boy, oh boy, that was unbelievably exciting. Unbelievable. Watch these junior dragsters go. Totally inspiring. See that dragster, the senior dragster go? That was something else. And I really wonder how often that person got a chance to take that thing out. Can't be terribly often. Can't exactly drive that down the street or anything like that. And there was another story too. It was a 64 Fairlane, I believe it was 64 Ford that was down. I believe I got one of his photos. Another post video that went up all over the place. And this is why I appreciate you all listening to me on this thing. But you got to go to Racetrack Not Street and that Long Island Needs a Drag Strip Facebook page. Join it. It's great. You got 4,000 people part of the Long Island Needs a Drag Strip. Long Island Got a Drag Strip. The web Facebook page is Long Island Needs a Drag Strip. But you see all these videos, and that person's like, he hasn't raced in 20 years. Wow. Really something else. And then a whole wide variety of other things that go along. All right. I know what happened last time with 10 minutes into this thing. I didn't think I took any photos. When I got home, I was talking to my wife about this. How'd it go? I was like, oh, it was great. It was really exciting. Bunch of things going on. You know, it was the junior dragsters, senior dragsters. He was there too. Sachin Ayala and his team going down there. I got a chance to talk to a few of them. Some few of the other drivers too. It's like really great. One guy was driving his police car. He couldn't get that car shiny enough. This was beforehand. He's dripping in sweat out there polishing this. You'd think he was going to a car show. No, it was racing down the track over here. But you know, it was just, hey, John. But he just kept on going on with that polish. Just something else. All these guys, just great. There's one photo in there that talks about it too. So all right, let me get to the photos. We'll do that, and really something, really something. And by the way, thank you, team out there, because now they say, hey, I've been announcing this thing. You have an announcer voice. Yeah, I'm a horse all the time. That's where that one goes, but that's fine. Just definitely a lot of fun as we go and do this thing. All right, window. Here we go. Oh, did I mention? Here we go. Did I mention that there's a drag strip in Calverton? There was also a wedding in Calverton. It was great. I'll show you the photos of that thing. But a wedding. I never imagined. Actually, who'd have thought? I believe, and everybody was saying it, and I don't know who verified what and the rest of that stuff. We're in a verify everything kind of world nowadays. But to our understanding, this was the first wedding that took place at a racetrack. Yeah, certainly at this drag strip, but maybe at any other drag racing facility. Who knows? Maybe every racing facility on Long Island. Although, we just throw in the disclaimer in there. Racing on Long Island goes back, this is 2022 right now. Racing on Long Island goes back to the early 1900s. Yeah, Vanderbilt Motor Parkway, the Vanderbilt Cup races. That's over 110 years of racing on Long Island. Maybe somebody else got married somewhere along the way. Don't know. I'm gonna have to put it out to that other Facebook page over there about the history of Long Island. They got thousands of members on that one too. So I'm trying to make a connection on that one, but who knows? Maybe this wasn't the first wedding that took place. Maybe it was. First one that I've been to on a drag strip, and it was absolutely great. All right, so let's fly. We're going to fly through these photos because, as I mentioned, when I spoke to my wife, I was like, I didn't take anything. Well, I took 142 photos. Most of them were not good. Some of them were spectacular. There she is. Maybe that's not walking walking down the aisleway, and you'll see that photo, or somebody got that photo later. But there she is, coming out of the trailer. Looking just absolutely gorgeous. That was just great. And she said she's just fine taking all the photos, all the rest of that stuff. That's what it looked like at the drag strip. There he is, waiting for the beautiful bride to come walking down the aisleway. And it was all set up. It was right on the track, obviously, chairs, people, and the kids were there too. And it was just waiting patiently. And over there would be the supervisor. All right. That's what it looked like. I decided to step back a little bit and give you an idea as to what it looked like, really truly looked like, from the track's perspective, I guess you could say. But there it is. Wedding party chairs, the whole thing, and the two cars that they took that ceremonial ride down. It was really something else. There we go. A little bit further back shot on that one. All right. This one, who knows their team? Maybe this would be the new profile photo for a racetrack, not street. Come and enjoy the day. Maybe get married, find your spouse, and I think they did. Right? I don't know. They not that they found each other here, but I do think they found each other at a racetrack or something along those lines. All right, moving on to other things that were taking place, and they got married well before the rest of the things took place. So got a chance to go take some of the photos. This, of course, would be Sergeant Aiello's car, the police car that he races the folks down the track. And you can tell this car has been modified a little bit. So what they do is it's called bracket racing, and depending upon how fast the other car is, they get head starts on some not. So that was a whole lot of fun. We'll save that explanation for a whole nother day. But this will also give you an idea. And I love the way the whole thing is set up this year versus last year. It's so much more friendly. I think from the racer's perspective, but also from the spectator's standpoint, on that. So over here on the left, these are the staging lanes. So the cars, when they're getting ready to go, they're going to be over there waiting in line, to go into the staging area and all the rest of that stuff. The pit area, all this stuff in the back over there. You see some of the tents on the left side and some mobile homes and some trailers, if you can make it out or not. That's on the right-hand side. But you can walk that whole thing. So and you can meet everybody, you could go take photos of the cars and do whatever you want. And I'm telling you, that kid's excitement in that video, it's there. It's out here also. You can ask anything. And when he was asking, I think he was asking all those what is this stuff? Oh, I could tell you, I could see myself I definitely see myself doing all of that. I don't know if I got a picture of this one in this week or last week, but the inside of his car looked like a an airplane cockpit. There was just so much electronic stuff in there. Absolutely incredible. So here's Sergeant's car. This was, I think this was Dale's. No, this was not Dale's car. That was the other guy I was talking to. I think this was Dale's car, and he's sitting out there polishing that car like you'd never believe. Absolutely incredible. Again, I thought he was at a car show. I think he was at a car show. Hey, tech area. Guy's got a new tent. Bravo. Looks great. And they're doing every car. You're going to race your car, and you can race any of your cars. You can see that car in the front over there looks a little bit more street cars. Got the license plate on there. They're checking all kinds of safety equipment. You don't need some of the safety equipment like you had in that other car with the video, with the big 5-point harness and things like that. If it's a regular street car, it's not that big of a deal. There are a few things that have to be in place. And the one thing that you have to bring that's extra, is going to be that helmet, or you can rent a helmet. But seatbelts need to be in good condition, all the rest of that kind of stuff. Tires need to be in good condition, etc. But you're doing that. The other cars that are modified, they're doing a little bit more. Again, we'll kind of save those conversations for another day. This is the drivers' meeting. And for those of you who are wondering who these people are, they're our neighbors. They're out there. Those are our neighbors. Some of them are coming from the automotive industry. Some of them just have a car they love. Some of them are doing this for the very, very first time. And those folks, if you're doing it for the first time, they'll take you on the track. This way, could show you what all the staging beams are and what the lights are like and what the whole thing is like. Great stuff. Really great stuff. She had a conversation on a whole nother topic about people going to something for the very first time and being exposed to something for the very first time. So there's certain information that they could be going over there. But if you've never done this before, it's a lot of different lingo that gets tossed into the equation. And you're like, it can be a bit overwhelming. I mean, the first day I tried announcing it, I was definitely overwhelmed. And it's just trying to break it down, learn a little bit. But for those that are coming down to track to do this thing for the first time, there's only a couple of things you need to know. Right? You absolutely need to know. You probably don't need to know what the speed limit is. All right. You're probably not going that fast. Especially if you have a street car. You're not going that fast. But you do need to know how to get your car up to that starting line and starting line properly. What those lights mean, what the hand signals mean, stuff like that. So ask the questions. And they have been absolutely terrific with that whole thing. Absolutely terrific. All right. Here's the just in case something goes wrong kind of thing. Fire department is there, tow truck is there, ambulance is there all the time. And that's one of the great things about this, about it on a track, is the fact that all that safety stuff is there. May it never be used. All right. And I'm going to say they did nothing. I mean, that in the proper sense of the word, nothing. All right. Tow truck. Hey, look, these guys are, that are down there, and the women that are down there pushing their cars, and modify the cars, whatever. Sometimes things break. It could be as easy as more belts in there or something like that. You need to tow, you got the tow truck right there. It's good. You put it back, whether they fix it there or not, or whatever, but it's all there. Everything is there. That's important. All right. What also is there is history. This is the photo. I wish I got the whole thing. I was focused on the Chevy up front, but I missed the car in the top left-hand side. That other orange truck, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. This is like a step back in history. At the track itself, the runway, Grumman. Spoke to somebody else about that too. Again, that's a whole nother topic, but the diversity of these cars is just great. There was a couple of cars. It was they could have been at National Speedway 20 years ago. These two cars could certainly have been at National Speedway 20 years ago. That's could have been. That's you're looking at the 50s, whatever. That's a 60-year-old car. The other one, I think I went back to the 30s. I'm not too sure, but you're talking 60, 70, 80-year-old cars. And some of these drivers, well, they had the age to match it. There we go. Hey, this one's for our sponsor over there, Eagle Chevrolet. That car you're looking at in the front over there is one of the employees of Eagle Chevrolet. So that's where that one goes. Bravo to them. They've been there all the time. Whatever they've missed, they've been just at it all the way through. Browns, you can see in the back, it's another one all the time. Really great stuff. Long a number of the food trucks too. So this is the Dragster, full blown Dragster. It's it's an engine Dragster. It's got the mufflers. It's really where that one going. But boy, oh boy, I wish we were able to see the excitement on his face. But that must have been some thrill taking this thing down the track over there. But that was what the Dragster was. All right, and then another one going, yeah, another time him going. He's got so much power in that car. Talk about the wheel spin, right? I mean, the burnout. That's one thing, but then they're up over here, and when they get going, is that this car obviously has enough power to do, have these wheels spin the whole way down. It doesn't get the car moving that well, so it's very hard to balance that out. And if you're just doing this for the obviously not racing the car for the first time, but getting used to this track for the first time. And I had that conversation with the sergeant, like, because he takes those cars, the beat the heat cars, to different tracks all the time. And if you're doing that, it's a new environment all the time. New track surface, there were different track surface all the time, different amount of grip and everything like that. Tough to get used to. I give him a lot of credit. And here's the other side of it. Is our junior dragster. So it's that's Jeffrey, the dad, watching the junior drag his child, his new race car driver go, and grandpa's out there watching too. And so is mom. Had a conversation with mom. Mom is definitely the PR person on the whole thing. She like fully had it all under control. There you go, a little bit of wheel spin. There's the driver's face for you. That was the best one I could take. And I could tell you, this is where it started to become clear as to what the message is for the business. Let's just kind of move these things along. Beautiful truck. I was getting better at taking my panning photos, right? That was where the truck is clear and the people blurry, moving the camera. Getting better. Love the name of this one, Child Support. This car also, he's been there quite a bit. Another one. You'd expect to see that at a quarter-mile track and the rest of that stuff. Yep, down here for this one. This is the gentleman, the 64 Impala. There was a post that went up. I believe it was from him, and the fact that it's been 20 years since he's had a chance to race. 20 years. And you know why he's able to do it? Because we're here. Got this stuff going on in the backyard. That's what Sergeant Aiello's car looked like. Got the lights are flashing, all the rest of that stuff. And it was pretty even up. There was a lot of folks that beat the heat. That got that T-shirt. And he was more than happy to give it away because it's what it's all about. Good fun, camaraderie, and all the rest of that stuff. And in his case, it really was about giving away those T-shirts because that's the big fun part with the whole thing. Hey, Pete's here too. Pete, man, absolute pleasure. American Auto Records, sponsor of the trophies. Got that right. And Sal Licardi's name. But really something. All right, so what do we got? It's 24 minutes. I got another 6 minutes. Let's tie this into the business world a little bit. Yeah, you got the racetrack over here. Is that good for the economy? Yeah, I tend to think so. I'm sure a lot of money was spent in and around the area. I know I'm going to stop by this guy selling birdhouses on the way. Yeah, over the next series of races, I'm going to stop over there and see if we can pick up a birdhouse from my mother-in-law. All right, that's a little bit. But folks have stayed out there at some of the hotels, the restaurants, according to the supervisor, even last year, and there was only 9 races, 9 days of racing last year. This year was 21. That the restaurants saw a big pickup in their activity while the racing was going on. That's really good. I know that when I was announcing the drivers, many folks here from the Long Island area, and that was really expected because the finances of this aspect from the driver's point of view, is as such. So it's $65 you want to race your car, right? $65. If you were to take that car, now, let's just say if you were to just drive that car, right? Forget the trailer, all the rest of that stuff. You would drive that car and you'd have to drive that car to some of the racetracks in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, upstate New York. You're spending $65, and this is probably going to be an understatement, so folks don't yell at me that do this thing, but it's probably an understatement to say you're spending $65 in transportation expenses, and probably a boatload more than that. If you got to trailer it, it's a boatload more than that. So from that, saving our local families, friends, business associates money on spending money someplace else, but to get a chance to spend it here, hey, that's a big deal. It really is. So that's a plus. But also, I've noticed too that some of those license plates on these cars that were here, they were not New York license plates. They were from outside. Uh, 'Cause noticed there was one from Florida. They came up here specific for this one. I don't know. Another Jersey. There's a driver. Perhaps. Perhaps they did that. So is this good for the tourism dollar? Maybe a little bit tougher to go figure out if it's just an economic benefit from us spending more money here at our local establishments versus people traveling in from the outside. It'd be fun to find that out. But just the same, it is having a positive economic impact on our local families. They don't have to spend as much to go racing. And for our local businesses that are seeing a pickup in business. Obviously, the food trucks, they saw a lot of activity. 50 Shades of Soul, the barbecue. I was going to go over there a couple of times, and it was like a long line. I was like, okay, we'll go at a later date. Next thing you know, it's over. So next time we get back to October, I think I may just go there, put an order in, or let them know and just eat earlier as soon as they get going before the racing, before everything else starts to happen. But they've obviously seen a pickup, over there. And it's Pete Scalzo, who operates the track, the ambulance, the rescue crew, and all the rest of that stuff. It's not that they're showing up for free. So there's money being spent over there for that, supporting some of the local first responders, I guess you want to phrase it like that, communities that are out there supplying that equipment too. So there's money being shared over here and money being saved. So you got that aspect of it. The other side of it too, which is really incredible, is, well, the vocational aspect. I spoke to you an awful lot about that, and Jeffrey and his family, Jeffrey Lasorda, he works over at Suffolk Community College, part of their program with the automotive, obviously. Well, I shouldn't say obviously, is Steve, who's part of our team that's in the truck, also part of Suffolk Community College. And I'm sure there are a few other folks, too, that, so Jeffrey, his car, and it was his child racing in the junior dragster, and then his dad, and the whole thing. Does he get the vocational aspect of it with the students directly? Yeah, absolutely. Then there's a John Lacosia. John's with the Oceanside High School, and he has in his STEM program, not automotive, STEM program, built a car, built a rat rod, and they brought it over to one of the trade shows, the Hop Hog Industrial Association trade show last year, hoping to get him to bring maybe the students, but definitely that car out to the track over here. Does he get it that this is good? Make those vocational programs, STEM, not just automotive, STEM, more exciting because you have now a finished product that has to be taken someplace? Yeah, absolutely. Am I trying to further that message? Absolutely. But here's the other thing that I didn't know. I didn't realize. Again, I don't come from an automotive industry background. Don't. I was a spectator in the stands. I used to Freeport, Riverhead. I didn't go to National Speedway. Please don't hurt me on that one. Bridgehampton made it out there. It was part of some other event too, not even the racing. So I'm new to all of this stuff. I did do a run with Jabrunga at Freeport Speedway with my 74 Capri, but really, I'm new to all this stuff. Here's the one thing I did not know. How many car companies, how many high performance companies there are here on Long Island? And I could read through all of those sponsors, and some of those sponsors are right here. They're right here that are in the automotive industry that now get a chance to highlight their businesses here to show their support for the community. But more importantly, the community gets to see that they are here. Now, they don't have to build race cars for you, but you know what? Having a nice car for a lot of folks really means something. Having a nice interior really means something. Having a better performing car, absolutely. Yeah. You got American Auto Wreckers, you got Casali Racing. I don't know if Casali Racing actually builds just nicer regular street cars or not, but if you want a high performance car, you're going there. Turning Wheels Towing, another sponsor along the way. Obviously, Browns. Obviously, Eagle Chevrolet had a great time talking to Gina about what she does over there and the different things that group is doing. So many others. Tasting some of the food with the food trucks also. So this is really giving a chance for our local companies to get more visibility also. And that is probably just as important as everything else that's going along. The family entertainment, the family learning, a great day out, safe environment, legal drag racing right here on Long Island on Racetrack Nut Street. And then seeing 6, 7-year-old kids in junior dragsters and 80-plus-year-old folks driving dragsters too. And a wedding. I don't know what I'm going to do next weekend. Actually, I do. It should be a lot of fun. But then we're back again. So that's September 24th and 25th. We go 4 more weekends. Got to get out there. Racetrack Nut Street. Fun stuff. All right, guys. We'll see everybody later. And women, we'll see you all later. And by the way, the women reaction time, I bet, was faster than most of the guys. And the kids, the junior dragsters reaction times, they were consistent as could be. Like 0.3 seconds overall with everything. Really cool. All right. We'll see everybody tomorrow. We'll do it again. 1 o'clock. And always looking for guests now. I want to try to get guests on over here. We'll go see if we can share some of the other photos. Got a t-shirt. Got my hat. Got to get going. Talk to you soon. And remember, don't remember, just know it. Speak well. Speak often. Live inspired. You will inspire somebody else to do exactly the same thing. All right, here we go. Key up the band. Let's play a little music. And we are going to move on.